Lyme disease is becoming more common every year, and yet, despite how many people are suffering, I keep watching the same heartbreaking story unfold again and again. People who know something is wrong, people whose lives have quietly gotten smaller, people who no longer recognize the person they used to be. They go from doctor to doctor, they collect stack of lab work, they hear conflicting opinions, months turn into years, and somewhere along the way, many of them start to wonder if they are losing themselves. I want to tell you about one patient in particular because somewhere in her story, I think you may find pieces of your own. When she sat across from me, she looked in my eye and said something that I'll never forget. I've asked God to take me, not because she wanted to die, not because she had given up on her life, but because she could not imagine living one more day feeling the way she felt. The fatigue, the brain fog that turns simple conversations into struggle, the pain that moved from one place to place, the anxiety out of nowhere, sleep that never let her feel rested. Some days she could barely get through the basics. Most of the days she felt like she was watching life happening from the sidelines. If you have ever felt that, if you have ever been told everything is normal while you knew deep inside that something was not right, stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change the way you think about Lyme disease and chronic infections and what healing actually looks like. Here is the thing about her. She wasn't chasing for perfection. She wasn't looking for a miracle or a shortcut. She just wanted her back in her life. She wanted to have enough energy to get her through a day without a nap. She wanted to wake up refreshed instead of feeling exhausted. And she wanted to think clearly, to sit through a dinner with her family without rationing energy for the evening. She wanted to be present for the people she loved instead of disappearing in front of them. That's all. She simply wanted to feel like herself again and to understand why her own body seems to be working against her. When everyone kept insisting nothing was wrong. By the time she reached me, she had already done everything she was told to do. Multiple doctors, stack of labs, medications, supplements, protocols, diets, thousands of dollars, and it's still the same message. Everything looks normal, or worse. Maybe it's stress, maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's all in your head. So she walked into my office carrying three beliefs that I see in almost everyone who sits in that chair. And until we broke them, nothing else could move. The first, if nobody has found the answer yet, maybe there isn't one. She had started to doubt herself because everyone around her had. But a normal test does not mean nothing is wrong. It usually means we have been looking through too small a window. The second thing, the answer must be out there somewhere. The perfect supplement, the perfect protocol, the one treatment that she hadn't tried yet. That belief had kept her searching outside her own body for years, and it kept her from ever looking at the things quietly driven her symptoms: mold-eaten infections, chronic inflammation, poor sleep, and a nervous system that gets stuck in the overdrive. And the third, the heaviest one, my body is broken. My body has failed me. That was the belief I most wanted to take from her. Because what if her symptoms were not proof that her body had failed? What if they were proof that her body was communicating, and no one had ever taught her how to listen. That is where everything changed, because when she walked in, the first question I asked was not, "What disease do you have?" The first question I asked was, "What happened before you got sick? When did things started to change? What has she been exposed to? What stress, what infections, what toxins, what patterns had everyone overlooked?" Because Lyme does not happen in isolation. It happens inside a human being, and that human being has a history. In integrated medicine, we call that the terrain, the environment in which health either struggles or thrives. And every person's terrain is different, which means healing can never be a one-size-fits-all protocol. The patients who improve the most are almost never the ones who find a magic bullet. They are the ones who finally start addressing the whole terrain. I am not going to walk you through every step of what her plan looked like. That part is personal, and it is different from everyone who comes through my door. What matters is the shift in the question itself. We stop asking, "How do we attack Lyme?" and start asking, "What is keeping this body from functioning the way it was designed to?" That question changed everything. I wish I could tell you healing happens overnight. It doesn't. Real healing is rarely a straight line. There were setbacks, there were moments of uncertainty, there were days she wondered if any of it was working. But this time, she wasn't chasing symptoms anymore. She was understanding patterns, and little by little, the pieces she thought were gone forever started coming back. And about 8 months in, she sent me a picture of her daughter's wedding. She had danced the whole night, and for the first time in years, it didn't cost her 3 days in bed. Not because we found magic cure, but because we finally started solving the right problem. If there is one thing I hope you take from her story, it is this: you are not broken. Your body is communicating. The symptoms you're living with are not random. They are signals. And when you learn to read those signals through a wider lens, entirely new possibilities opens up. So if you have spent years searching for answers, please do not mistake a lack of answers for a lack of hope. Those are two different things. Imagine waking up in the morning and the first thought of your day isn't about how bad you feel. Imagine getting through an afternoon with your kids or your loved ones and still having something left over. That is not fantasy. That is, for the right person, the starting point. You deserve care that looks beyond a diagnosis. Someone willing to ask deeper questions, a plan built around the whole person sitting in that chair, not just a lab result on a screen. That is exactly our mission here at the Grossgold Clinic in Clearwater, Florida. For years, my team and I have helped hundreds of patients uncover the hidden factors behind their symptoms and built a plan designed around their unique terrain for Lyme disease, mold toxicity, cancer, chronic inflammation, and other complex chronic conditions or neurological conditions. So here is your next step. If you're living with fatigue, brain fog, migraine pain, neurological symptoms, or anything else no one has been able to fully explain, and her story sounds like yours, tap the link below and complete a short patient application. That application is simply the beginning of a real conversation, a chance for us to start understanding your terrain and for you to decide whether this is the right fit for you. No obligation. Just for many people, the first time someone has looked at the whole picture.